Right, so as you can see we've got this applied here, and I'm going to open up Adobe Photoshop. Hello Adobe Photoshop. Now, I'm going to move over to this bit, and if you recall from the unwrapping, this part here is the part that makes up the, just to show you in Max, I'm trying to rotate an image, this part here, yeah, down here, and then on the other side as well. So, drop back into Photoshop. I'm going to start with this piece here. You can panel this if you want to, or do whatever you want to. You can see where the lines are. Okay, just. You can probably see them better than I can, in fact. So, oh dear me. First things first, I'm going to select this. And bring it straight down to here, because this is a pretty rudimentary cut and dried piece, really. Now, I'm going to go over here to our colours. If you want the colours to go back to default, press D. And I'm going to go for more, 70. There we go. You may hear children in the background shouting about Dora the Explorer, by the way. This is perfectly normal. Okay, and a bit of colouring in. Now, it's up to you to decide exactly how you're going to do this. I think I'm going to split this into two little sections, and then have each of those two sections with some little inset panels on them. Just because I think inset panels look nice. They're the new rivet. So, delete tool, and I've got a delete 2 going on here, so find roughly where I think the middle will be, hold down shift. There we go. I'll just bring this back over to this piece again. A little bit too much deleting going on there really for my liking. Maybe I'll bring it down to 1. There we go. Whee. Yeah, that's about right. So, do it here. Put it straight across, and that's enough. Now what I can do with each of these pieces is quite literally set them up as a bevel, which would be cool. Now let's have a look. Blending options, yada 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 yada, bevel emboss. And as you see, we've got 2 different bevels set up here because of the line I cut down the middle. So that's been pretty bloody useful, really. If we go to our bevel and emboss options, change this to 400, because I like 400. Change this to about 3, because I don't want it too high, and maybe a 1 in the soften. Click OK. That works for me. Under the base layer here, I'm going to do a layer, new, and make an empty. You can see the difference that makes having the empty. It's nowhere near as deep, by the way. Now I can just collapse that straight down onto our empty, and make a new layer. And then make a new layer on top of that. That way, our 2 embossed bevel boxes here aren't affecting the bevel and emboss we're about to do down here. I'm sure you kind of understand what I mean. If you don't, tough. So, Control D, and I'm going to make a piece, say about this wide. Okay, so you remember the colour we've used before. We're not using many colours, to be honest. It's not really palette challenging. That's my fault though. I'm not a palette challenging kind of person. Okay, blending options. Any crying in the background. My young baby son is having a tantrum because he wants to play with the laptop that one of my other children's playing with at the moment. The answer is no, you're not playing with it, daughter. 2, 0. There we go. Love it when you get these beautiful, clean things like this. And of course you can move them. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to set the first one about there. Well, actually no, about there. Actually no, I'll set them in the middle, sod it, about there. The middle's a good place to have these. Okay, now Control J. And holding shift, I'm going to make a copy down here. Okay, now collapse these 2 together. Bottom one slightly darker, not a fan of that at all. Let me think. What I could do with putting a layer on top of 6 there. New layer on. That's better, and then collapse it. Yeah, still too dark. Let's layer 6 here. There we go. Right, now that's been sorted out. Sorry about that. Control J. make some more copies. We only want 3 panels in the middle though, like this. And now we've just got the one layer here, and it's completely flat. So now it's a good chance to get our old dodge and burn tool friend again. Whee! As you can see, we've had some fun with it. Collapse it one more layer before we do, I think. Sorry, 2 more layers before we do. In fact, hang on. Because I've collapsed this too far down, I'm going to copy these up. There we are. So, layer via cut, and it goes straight up to here, you see. Now we can bring these all down. And anything I do will not affect this piece, which is very important. Okay, we've got a burn tool on. Burn. So, let's start adding in our dark light. Our little tints and hints. I very rarely use dodge, I prefer burn. I prefer to start with light and kind of chip it away as opposed to vice versa, I suppose. Which is a lot about my personality, I'm sure. I'm one of them bad guys you read about. Okay, just get the corners nice and toned in. The thing is, you know, I mean, I'm going over. I'm really making like too much contrast in places, making it look unrealistic, but it doesn't matter, because when we slam in that nice rusty texture we've got to sit in the background, it'll look great. So I'm just going over the tops here. All I'm doing is making sure that they're dark enough in the places where they're supposed to be, before I let the rusty part do its work. There we go. And put some streak lines across like this. Same over here. Now, by the way, anyone who uses the 3ds Max panels map, okay, just don't. You're just fooling yourself. It's not going to do what you want it to. Okay, so we've got this piece in. Next, go over here. I'm going to cut myself a small slice of this. See about there. Hopefully this should be big enough. Not quite. Cut myself a bigger slice. That's better. I'm going to move it to about there. Like so. Change the opacity to 50. And change this to darken. Oh, nice. So you can see what all the tints have done for us now, can't you? Now I can take this. To there. And do a Control-Shift-I. Delete off the excess. And Control-E just to slam it down. Okay, now over here, this little part here, doesn't look important. It is, you know it is. So layer, new layer. However, I don't see the point in messing around too much with it. So I'm going to grab it and make it dark in places. And then I'm going to grab it and I'm going to make it, you know, a bit patchy like that. Okay, then I'm going to do a Control V. Move over here. Opacity, I'm going to change it this time to 55 just for the sheer variance. Then over grab like so. Control-Shift-I, delete. Change it from a normal to a nice darken. Or a multiply. Darken. Hit delete. Control-V. Zoom out. Okay, and that's another piece done. Oh, hooray! And that works. I might as well do this little piece down here while I'm at it as well, so let's zoom in on it. Now then, yum. Let's see. I'm quite a lazy soul really, so I don't want to have to do too much of these, but yeah, Control Z. Oh, you'll notice I've got So as I was saying, I've got this piece here selected, which is add to selection rather than just select, and this means that we can kind of put bits on like this. Okay. Now I'm going to change these ones to 70 and just draw on them. And oh, I've got a 55% opacity, haven't I? Layer, new layer. There we go. Now draw on. Now I'm just going to use my dodge tool and add some basic, real basic stuff to them. Okay. I mean, you can add more to them. You can add letters, little rivets, whatever the hell you want. Okay. Now next, I'm going to go over here. Select this piece. Should be enough. Yeah, it is. Okay, just move this down here and give it an opacity of 50% again. And darken. There we go. Don't need to do anything to it really, so I can just bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. And now we've got layer 4, which is our only layer here. Pull out. Quite a lot going on. I'm going to do File, Save As, Tutorial Text String Part 3. So this is our third PST, like so. Now if I drop back to our UVW unwrapped model and change this for this one, just scoot in there. And then you can see our panels are appearing inside it as I want them to, and it's all kind of starting to come together really, a bit, you know, it's all gone a bit Steve Wright. Okay, so I'll see you in the next part when we start work on this side over here and the inside of this door. So until then, thanks for watching.